Chris Sims joins us in the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio, here live at the Farmers Insurance Fox Sports Radio studios. Chris, you've told the story before on other platforms about when, I think when you got married and you went on a 2-week honeymoon, right? And Gruden kept hitting you up on that honeymoon. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is accurate. Yes, I was there about a week. I had told him, cleared the whole thing, right? I mean, do you want me to go down this road and tell everybody what this story right now?
It's a great story. Tell it.
Okay, go ahead. All right. So, yeah, I'm letting them know. You know, I let them know plenty of time. I got married before the 2004 season, right before training camp. So we didn't get to go on a honeymoon, my wife and I. So now the season's over, and, hey, you know, I'm thinking about trying to figure out a honeymoon trip. I tell him, oh, yeah, go ahead, man. No big deal. It's early in the off season. You do it. You enjoy it, man. You deserve it. You know, so great. I'm okay. We go to Italy. I'm there I tell him I'm going for 2 weeks. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm going to miss 2 weeks of workouts, but I'll see you when I get back. Day 8, my phone rings, or I just see a voicemail. I don't even see a ring. It's Gruden. Hey, man, what's up? Just calling to see how you're doing. Just checking on you. And I go, oh, that's nice, whatever. Next day, hey, man, where are you at? When you coming back? I mean, man, we miss you here. Hope to see you soon. Next day, are you guys on a rowboat coming back from Italy? I mean, what the hell's going on? So, long story short, yes, he calls me one more time after that, and I'm feeling the pressure. So I tell my wife, we're on the island of Capri now, ending the trip. I go, we got to go. I got to get out of here. I can't even relax anymore. I got to get back. He's on my case. I got to go. So we cut the trip short 2 days, and I got back because really, Doug, what he was frustrated with is he wanted to have these walkthroughs and implement his offense to the team to start the offseason. Well, we had some new quarterbacks there at the time. Luke McCown was there. It might have been one other guy who just didn't know the offense quite the way I did, and Brad Johnson was still there as an older veteran, but I don't think he was there yet, you know, because veterans come in a little later. So he was frustrated he couldn't have these walkthroughs. And that's really what the precipice was of him calling me and annoying me on my honeymoon.
That's amazing. I bring that up because McVay was part of that staff as a runner, right? As a lowly grunt. And what I've been told about Goff is it wasn't that he didn't work hard. He just wasn't nearly to the level of a McVay Gruden type. It wasn't that he wasn't smart, but he wasn't to the level of a McVay type, right? And it was just a point of contention. And then you take in, he didn't draft him. He's not as athletic as he wants. He wouldn't take shots down the field. He wasn't like accountable, like, hey guys, my bad. That's all on me. Like all of these things were frustration that eventually boiled over to them getting rid of him and getting for Stafford. Is that reasonable that they're kind of wired the same in their expectations? And then look, if you're going to make $100 million, you got to bring it every day, like Aaron Donald does, and he wasn't a bring it every day guy. He's kind of a laid back.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. When you're that guy, you know, you got to bring it every day. You know, you got to be able to, okay, you're getting paid well. We're not playing good today. We're paying you a lot of money to play good and kind of carry the team here. You know, and I think we said this a little last week. When you talk about evaluating your football team, the first thing you always have to do is go back and go, wait, who are we paying the most money, and did those guys perform? And I think 2 years in a row now, the Rams probably went away going, man, wait, like the guy that we have the most questions about as far as performance is concerned is the guy we're paying the most money. So I think that, and then all those other factors that you talked about, you're right. You know, lack of playmaking down the field. You know, this year, taking care of the football became an issue. Turnovers became the issue. And then you don't win yourself the benefit of the doubt when you're not the other things you're saying. Like, you know, you got to live it. You got to love it. You're going to be a quarterback for John Gruden or Sean McVay, just like you see Derek Carr is now. It transformed his life. Now he's obsessed with it. You know, that's what Gruden wants. That's what the McVays want. They want a guy there, oh, it's Tuesday, your day off, you're here. Oh, it's Tuesday and it's March 18th. Oh, our quarterback's here, even though the rest of the team isn't. And I don't know if they were necessarily happy with all of that stuff, too, let alone, like you said, not a vocal leader, not that way either. And they're just, I think, more negatives than positives.
Okay. The question we'll soon learn, again, on a limited case study, Small sample size was it the quarterback or was it the franchise? You get a guy who's another former number 1 overall pick in Matt Stafford. How much of an upgrade do you think Stafford is to Goff?
Well, I think he's a pretty significant upgrade. Stafford, in my eyes, is a top 10 talent in football at the quarterback position. Jared Goff, in my opinion, is towards the bottom 10 when you talk about the starting quarterbacks. So there you are getting a guy who I believe is twice as talented for half the amount of money, which, of course, is what led to, the big trade and maybe being a little more expensive than people realize. But, that I understand, right, that's going to be the big question. And listen, I'll be the first to tell you, I'd like to see more out of McVay's offense. There's no doubt. It's a good offense. Am I going to sit here and tell you I think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread? No. I would like to see a little bit more diversity. But even with the way the offense is run right now, you can still win and be very successful, especially if you have a quarterback who can make some more high-level throws off the play action and bootleg pass game. McVay now is going to be able to run. He can really keep things exactly the same. He doesn't have to change. But now, this play action pass, wait, I could have this guy run a post corner 50 yards down the field. I couldn't do that with the last guy. So I think it's just going to be that, and the fact that defenses will have to respect that aspect of Stafford, that's going to make the offense look much better. But I will say, yeah, I'd like McVay to expand a little that way. But I also will say, too, I think Goff and his limitations have limited McVay's ability to expand either, because I just don't know if he trusts Goff and knew what he was going to get on a consistent basis.
I agree with you. Doug Gottlieb Show here on Fox Sports Radio. Where do you think the Texans really stand with Watson?
Well, I told Mike Florio on Monday morning, and I've gotten some good information over the weekend by somebody I really trust that's connected with the situation. There's no way Deshaun Watson will play for the Houston Texans again. He will not do that. He is willing to sit out the year, from what I've been told, in this situation. So I can't imagine the Texans, they can say and do whatever they want, but really here with Watson, the type of player he is, most people know this is not a selfish guy. It's not a me guy. And there's something truly he's disappointed with, let alone with the no trade clause and the money and the power he has that way, that ultimately they're going to have to move him. And it's going to be probably the most expensive trade ever. But I don't see it happening with the Houston Texans. I really don't, just from what I've been told. And even before I was told that, I doubted it would happen.
So where's the right fit?
Well, it's like we talked about. It's going to be, for me, I just don't think one of these teams that's rebuilding is going to be necessarily, catch the eye of Deshaun Watson, because he's going to go, wait, we're rebuilding, and now you're giving up the kitchen sink to get me too? So how is we going to rebuild? How's that going to happen? Now, for me, the more and more I think about it, and I think I've said this to you already, the teams that should make the play are the teams that have a team that they feel comfortable, hey, we're good. We don't need a whole lot of extra pieces. Teams that fit that mold, the Colts, yeah, we know they were in the Matthew Stafford talks. They wanted him bad. Okay, the 49ers, I think they're one of those teams. They're ready for the Super Bowl. If their quarterback can just stay healthy, they'll be right in that mix. I look at the New Orleans Saints as another team. If they realize Drew Brees is gone or anything like that, to me it is that type of team that I think Watson will go to, and I also think it's that type of team that it actually makes sense for the team instead of, like I've told you before, the Jets, we have 75 holes to fill. Now we're going to get one guy, and we still got 75 holes to fill. That doesn't make sense.
No, I get that. I guess the problem becomes,
yes,
what goes
trade
back in return. What does New Orleans have to offer? What does San Francisco have to offer? Mid to late first round draft picks don't really do it for anybody.
No, you're right. That's going to be, they're going to have to work magic. Now, the 49ers would have the benefit going, wait, hey, Nick Caserio, New England people down there, we do have Jimmy Garoppolo, so there you get your quarterback. You don't have to worry about that right now. But you make a valid point, and I think that's going to be, some of the gymnastics of this trade, because, yes, if it is one of those teams like you're talking about there, it is going to be a late-round pick. It's not as sexy. The Texans aren't going to love that. And that, to me, then is going to go into, all right, you're probably going to have to trade probably a blue-chip player off of your roster to get him. And then that's going to be the conversation there of who that is, and is that team comfortable giving that player up for Watson and the picks and all of those type of things.
Doug Gottlieb Show here on Fox Sports Radio. That's the voice of Chris Sims. Okay, we're getting ready for this game, and I got to tell you, I do think that Pat Mahomes, as great as he is, he doesn't have his bookend tackles against that defensive line.
I know.
It feels like Patriots, Giants all over again. Am I crazy?
Right. I hear you, and I think it will take that type of performance by the front four of the Bucs to win the football game. Now, there's some differences between that Patriots offense and that Chiefs offense, too. So that's the big thing. And Doug, I just got done watching that film. I mean, hey, it's a tough matchup for the Bucs defense. I don't care what you say. When you got all these weapons and the way the Chiefs are playing on the offensive side of the ball, and just how diverse they've come between short pass game, deep pass game, they've almost, like we've talked about in the last few weeks, become, indefensible that way. And the movement of the pocket and Mahomes, all the sprint outs and things like that, the speed sweeps, that slows down the pass rush a little. They got to react to that type of stuff. Then Mahomes scrambling, of course, is much greater than Tom Brady was in that 2007 or ever, right? So that's where it's a different animal. And Todd Bowles is going to have to take some chances, certainly, and probably, roll the dice a few times and go, ooh, this isn't sound, or I'm taking a chance here, but I got to do this to stop this great offense. Because, one thing I caught, it's hard to blitz Mahomes. The Buccaneers got torched by him that first time around. I wrote so many times in my notes, hey, good thing you blitzed 5 here and left this guy one-on-one. I mean, it would have helped if you just rushed 4 and kept another guy back there to help with Tyreek Hill. But, at the baseline, you're exactly right. And to me, it's going to take a special play or two for that Bucs defense. They're going to have to make a play or two, at least in my opinion, for them to win the football game. If things just play straight out, there's no turnovers, anything like that, I just think the Chiefs are too good and will win the football game. They're going to have to do something a little off schedule, that Bucs D.
Chris, great stuff, man. Enjoy the week. Can't wait to talk to you next week. Thanks so much for your insight, dude. It's really needed.
Thanks, buddy. Have fun. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
You too. That's Chris Sims.